Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm inaugurating a new series. I wish it weren't a series, that I was just doing one of these, just doing a Hell-in-a-Handbasket report, but it's going to be a Hell-in-a-Handbasket update because given the shape the country's in, and especially the people who are governing it at the moment, I am pretty sure I'll be doing more of these. But we'll start off with my own personal experience. I went back to Barnes & Noble yesterday. It was the first time, well, the mask mandate is off, at least if you're vaccinated, which I am. So all the tables are back in the cafeteria. You can sit down. It's all back to normal. So I went to the Barnes & Noble cafe, my local one, and I ordered myself up a coffee. I got the coffee, I got the receipt, and I got a coupon. Look at the coupon. Buy one fresh baked cookie, get 50% off a second. Great deal, right? And they do this every month. Well, not every month, I'm sorry, every other month. And then in the in-between months, they have some other kind of special for stuff that I don't want, like a pound of Starbucks coffee, which is not all that good. I just order it because I want to sit down and look at the books and magazines and use the electricity for free. That's the only coffee they have, but that's my problem. Well, it's your problem too if you don't like Starbucks coffee and you feel compelled to buy it sometimes. Anyways, getting back to this coupon, buy one fresh baked cookie, get 50% off a second. What is the big deal about it? This is the big deal. Going back, I don't know, years, not just the past 2 years in Tennessee where I am now, but back in New York also. It's a countrywide coupon that they give out. But it was not buy one fresh baked cookie, get 50% off a second. It was buy one fresh baked cookie, get one fresh baked cookie free. In other words, a twofer. You buy one cookie, you get a second one for free. Now you just get 50% off a second cookie. Why? I'll give you 3 guesses. Time's up. The answer is obvious anyways. Inflation. Inflation is everywhere. It's hitting no matter how strenuously our fearless leaders in Washington try to deny it. There is no doubt that inflation is back. There's this one example you just saw right now. Oh, not only that, the coffee cost me more too. With the sales tax, there's a 10% sales tax in Tennessee, but there is no state income tax. So the sales tax seems high, but there's no state income tax. Meanwhile, back in New York, it was, well, the sales tax is there. If you live in New York City, they have a local income tax and the state income tax. Last I had to pay it, it was about 10%, 9 and a fraction percent, and they had a state income tax. So I'm much better off here, but the coffee cost me more. With the income tax, it was $1.96. It had always been that way since I've been in Tennessee. Now, or this last time, it was $2.03. That's something, I did the math, it's about a 7% increase. And I have to pay half price if I want an extra cookie. So you see how I'm suffering from inflation. But we all are, because look at this chart. This chart is from today. Consumers seeing prices rise. Red meat up 65. That's 65%. Chicken up 59%. Fruit 58%. Toilet paper 57%. Milk 51%. That's not just minor inflation, that is major inflation. Now, a lot of it, well, is because of this free money that the government is giving people not to work. So they're getting all this free money and they are not going to work to produce more red meat, more chicken, more fruit, more toilet paper, more milk, whatever. That's a contributing factor that one hopes would not be a factor when this free money for doing nothing, runs out. And in fact, some states, red states of course, conservative states, Republican states, are refusing the extra money because they want their people to go back to work. Of course, in the blue states, the liberal states, where they want people to get money, guaranteed universal income, annual income for doing nothing, obviously they feel differently there. But even when this comes off, you're still going to see inflation because the government has been printing money like crazy, not just to pay people for doing nothing, for sitting on their rear ends day in and day out, 24/7, but also for the other programs that they want to institute. For instance, in this giant quote-unquote infrastructure bill that has very little spending, relatively speaking, to the rest of the bill, having to do with infrastructure. But that's another subject for another day. So that's the first example I want to give today, or news about this country going to hell in a handbasket. I really wonder how bad it's going to get before we can get, well, it's going to be at least, less than 2 years now till we can at least hopefully get a Republican House, and ideally House and Senate, and hopefully in 2024 have a Republican president and Republican House, Republican Senate, solid majority, conservative majority on the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, that's the downside, I guess, the filibuster in effect, which Democrats would then use against us. And when I say us, full disclosure, I'm a conservative. Always keep that in mind when you evaluate whatever I say. The point is, though, how much damage are the Democrats going to do until Republicans are in a position to stop it? And this is very, very unlikely. Reverse the damage that they have done, that our liberal friends have done. So hell in a handbasket. But there's more. I was talking about fearless leaders, so let's talk about our top fearless leader, our fearless leader in chief, Joe Biden. His dementia is no secret. His weakness is no secret. His inability to just speak publicly is not in doubt, not just here in the United States, but around the world. Our international friends are a little worried, and so are our liberal friends, our Democratic friends in Congress, who you may recall some time ago wanted to curtail or limit somehow Joe Biden's ability to, his access to the nuclear codes, or his ability unilaterally to order a nuclear attack. That's how worried they are. But here is a video, a short video, to give you a little bit of comparison to compare. I mean, you could compare with Donald Trump. He's in his 70s, not as old as Joe Biden, but obviously much more in command of his faculties. But I want to go back farther and compare, or this video compares Ronald Reagan and Joe Biden. You're going to see and hear Ronald Reagan at the age of 77, just 1 year younger than Joe Biden, maybe even less than a year younger, depends when their respective birthdays are. But Reagan at 77 versus Joe Biden at 78.
My Coast Guard aides have been excellent. One of them taught me that, and I quote, "The Coast Guard is that hard nucleus about which the Navy forms in time of war."
I can only assume that you will enjoy educating your family about how the Coast Guard is, quote, "the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war." You're a really dull class.
Welcome back, and let me just add, having lived through the entire Reagan presidency and having voted for him in both of his elections, much better president. It's just, I'm getting nostalgic from that video. So nice to have a strong president, a strong president, an optimistic president, a president who believes in this country. It's Donald Trump. It's a president like Donald Trump without the tweets. But in fairness, there was no Twitter in Reagan's day. But I don't think he would have done that. That's Trump's main fault, is that he can't. You look at Joe Biden, his approval ratings, they're pretty high. The one I saw today from Likely Voters, the Rasmussen poll that I give a lot of credibility to, he's at 52% today. The lowest I've ever seen him was maybe 47, 48, but usually he's at 50 and above. I don't think it's because of what he's doing. It's not, well, as I've said in the past, I don't know if I put it in a vlog, when the American people voted for Joe Biden, those who voted for him were voting for a change of personality, not a change in policy. So we have Joe Biden doing all these very left-wing, very radical things, but he's getting these high ratings because he doesn't tweet all the time. And we just don't hear from him. And I have a feeling that's how the American people feel, that a president should be, I was going to say seen and not heard, but I think neither seen nor heard is what people really want. They want to go about their daily lives, and they don't want to know what Washington is doing or have to care about Washington is doing. So, yeah, and to also be fair, it's not just the tweets, it's the constant. It was also over 90% negative coverage of Donald Trump by our so-called objective media, which has revealed itself as really just a propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. Most of the media, with the possible exception of Fox News, but then you have Chris Wallace, who obviously is a liberal Democrat or a Democratic apologist. But those constant attacks, that's what's creating a lot of the noise too, maybe even more of it, because the press is not attacking Joe Biden all the time. So during the Trump presidency, we heard all the time from Trump and from the press attacking him, but Joe Biden, we don't hear anything. We don't hear much from Joe Biden, and we don't hear anything from the press. And one of the things you don't hear is any complaints about Joe Biden not being more accessible to the press, because they know what you just saw in that video, and they don't want that exposed. They want to bury that as much as they can. Now on to the final item for today. This is real Hell-in-a-Handbasket material. It's another video, but first let me give you this headline, short article, and then I'll show you the video. Watch. Woman laments that her infant is, quote, a white male, unquote. Shares the woke book she reads him so he won't, quote, grow up to be awful, unquote. Imagine being this disgusted with your own child. I'm sure a deeper part of this woman adores her son, hence why she would want to, quote, help him, unquote, by reading him these books. Yet the very act of buying said books is an acknowledgement that she believes her son is inherently flawed, that it's inevitable that he will become a monster unless she reprograms him to be as woke as possible. Good luck, lady. I'm sure making your son another self-hating, effeminate, woke man-child is going to fix all of society's woes.
Hi there, my name is Sarah. This little cutie is my son Bennett. As you can see, my son is a white male, so here are some books that I bought to help prevent him from growing up to be awful. Starting out strong, we have C is for Consent. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's a picture book that goes into detail about consent with your body, with family. Along that same note, we have Will Ladybug Hug. Teaches the same kind of concept in a more childish way about a ladybug who is hugging his friends, even has one friend who doesn't like hugging. So, this one is called Only for Me. Also, same concept, teaching kids about consent and things that feel comfortable with their bodies. Because I'm raising a feminist, we've got A is for Awesome, 23 inspirational women. Next, we have I Clean Like Daddy. There's even a page in the end where the whole family is cleaning together to show that it's not just mom and sister's job. Finally, we have Except When They Don't, a book about boys and girls liking whatever they want, regardless of their gender.
God help that child, and God help us if that child grows up without unlearning all this garbage that his mom is going to be force-feeding him throughout apparently his entire formative years, and especially if this kid grows up and achieves a high position, worst of all, a position of governing over the rest of us. Well, as I said, Hell-in-a-Handbasket, that was the first update. As I also said, I'm sure there will be more. But in the meantime, if I could have a thumbs up if you like this video, that would really be great. Got any comments? Comment section below the video where you could ask questions, suggest future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my other channels, my hot dog channel and my cooking channel. Links in the description. But most of all, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.